What's good, everybody? Welcome to another broadcast here for Fast Break here for Ice Sports Radio. You're ready for all this show, for our sports, excuse me. Yeah, a lot to talk about tonight. We're on Giannis watch. How do you feel about that going to the trade deadline?
It's going to be very interesting what team does try to make a move for him. I've already made my suggestion. My big bold suggestion is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Should possibly tap into it and see what they can do with it. But that's just my opinion. Other team is actually, trying to get him. We'll see what he calls.
It's gonna be an interesting show tonight. I got a couple teams that should be on this list and should make a move for him. Teams that shouldn't make a move for him because I don't think he will go there. But we'll discuss a lot of things. Plus, on tonight's show, we're talking about NBC's coverage of Sunday night basketball, why I think it's a great move for the league, and hopefully a thing that they should capitalize on. Plus, Florida, Alabama, two colleges that we love. They went toe-to-toe this Sunday afternoon with Florida beating down Alabama. We'll talk about that much more around the world of basketball. But this is the Fast Break here for Ice Sports Radio. You're ready for always sports, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show tonight. Hope y'all staying warm wherever you're at in the country. The snow, cold, ice storms has been kicking everybody's ass. So if you're out there, wherever you're at in part of the country, I know North Carolina, that area got hit pretty hard this past week. So if you're out there, please stay warm. Don't go out if you don't have to, which I saw video of that. But please stay safe and warm out there.
Mm-hmm.
Asheville peeps, they got hit hard. Been seeing a lot of stuff with them. Folks still without power up there, going like a week plus. So, stay warm out there. Do what you got to do. Hotel, shelter, please stay safe out there, all that. All right, D-Locke. Lots to talk about. Lots to get into here tonight. As we talking right now, NBC got the Sunday night broadcast going on the NBA right now, which I think is a great look for the league. You got the Knicks and Lakers. Very smart to put you two big market teams in front of the showcase right now. So I think that was a solid move with the Lakers up 56-52 at halftime, with the Knicks with 20 bench points thus far. But the Lakers seem nice and active right now. So we'll come in and out of that game as the show progresses tonight. But D-Locke, the NBA trade deadline is right around the corner. And let me get that right time right now. It's going to be February the 5th, so 4 days from now. So we won't be back. Well, won't be live next Sunday because Super Bowl, because everybody be watching Super Bowl. But when we come back, trade deadline come and go and all that stuff, and a lot of news and stuff are buzzing right now. And Giannis has finally put a rubber stamp on it that he wants to be moved from Milwaukee either by the deadline or sometime in the off season.
Correct.
And according to Shan Sharadia, Shan reports the Bucks are opening the door to the possibility that Giannis has played his final game for the franchise. If y'all don't know, a few days ago, Giannis got hurt again. And he's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. So, we'll see the timeline on that. Doc Rivers has come out and said he don't foresee Giannis getting moved by the deadline. So, if he doesn't get moved by the deadline, then, this year the season probably be the last you see Giannis in the Bucks uniform. ESPN reporting indicates Giannis is open to leaving Milwaukee, with the Bucks finally moving talks forward. The Knicks, Warriors, and other contenders are monitoring closely, see if the moves can be made. D-Locke, not touching this last week. Now we're back here another week. Now we got confirmation that, the divorce is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on Giannis finally requesting this, and your thoughts of where should he go?
First, my thoughts of it happening. I think it was going to happen over the time. Knew it was going to happen once Dame got hurt. Once Dame got hurt, we were already hearing whispers of him, want to continue to contend for a title prior to Dame getting there. He wanted to, so they made a move. All right, bet they went and got Dame. Then Dame gets hurt. Now they're back at square one. Get another coach. Doc Rivers probably didn't help anything either. You know what I mean? They were looking pretty good, and then now, boom, fired up from the former coach, and now they have Doc Rivers, and we haven't seen his team look any better since. Now the injuries are piling up. How old is Giannis? Got to be what, 29?
Maybe 29, 30.
So he is actually 31. So he's not necessarily done. I think he still has some years left. But he wants to contend for a title, and I get it. He's already won one. He's been the MVP. He knows what it is to do that. Now he wants to be a contender. He wants to continue that thrill. Now, one of the first things that clicks in my mind is the interview the question that he answered that people use as a motivational quote nowadays is, did they fail that season? And he said, well, if you don't win a championship every year, is that considered failing? He said that they had some type of success. Well, now this requesting for a trade kind of goes back on that a little bit. It kind of makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We have injuries. Different things happen. But if it wasn't about winning as much, or if it wasn't considered a failure, why leave? Why make a request to leave? Because now, like I said, one of the main reasons we know that is he definitely wants to be contending for a title. That's just without question. So now it goes back on that question, right? Like he said, is it considered you failing if you don't win? No. But at some point, it's bothering if you don't win after being a NBA champ and the success that he has. When you're chasing greatness, as we talk about the LeBron, the Michael Jordan, the Magic, the Larry Bird, these guys were contending every year. They were in the contention of winning a title every year. They won multiple titles. They've been in the NBA Finals multiple times. That's something that Giannis is chasing. So we go back to that question that was asked, right? If he was to revisit that question now, if you're not winning, is that considered a failure? I think his answer would change a little bit differently. And I'm saying that because of the actions of him requesting a trade to go somewhere where he's contending for a title. Because if you're chasing that greatness, we talk about it at the end of every NBA Finals or championship. Hey, Patrick Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs is considered one of the greatest. Why? Because he's been to multiple Super Bowls. Not because he has won. Because he's been to multiple Super Bowls and won multiple championships. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Joe Montana, these guys, they've been contending for a championship and won multiple championships. So I think that is something that Giannis is chasing, which I think he should, because he will go down as one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. It's just what's going to add up is those championships that's going to make his resume look better. So, like I said, I kind of seen this coming over time, over years, but you knew once Dame got hurt, unless they were about to make a big blockbuster trade prior to, within the year, the months after that, to add the piece, he was going to be gone either way. I mean, these guys, Gary Trent, Kevin Porter, Miles Turner, Bobby Porter, as good as these guys are, they're not helping to get a title. I mean, that's just cut and dry. It is what it is, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So I think I'm not too surprised. Again, I talk about all the time. What do the Lakers do? They lose a superstar and they gang on before they lose one. They're putting pieces together literally every right before. Hey, we're about to lose a star. Let's get another one. Another team that we've seen do that multiple times is Pat Riley and Miami Heat. So that leads me to the follow-up question of that is, where should he go? Well, I think there's a few teams that should show interest, but if he's interested, being contending for a title consistently, I think Miami is probably need to be at the top of the charts. I mean, now right now they got to put the pieces around him, but I think that is something that we've known Pat Riley and the Miami Heat to do over years, doing it with D Wade, adding Shaq. Obviously, Chris Bosh, D Wade, and LeBron. We've seen that. Something similar with Jimmy Butler and Bam. So you're seeing that so-called Heat culture, and they continue to be consistent in contending for a title. So, I think one of the few landing spots I look at, top landing spots, I would say Miami Heat. Kind of question on New York. I don't want to say New York just yet. I know Knicks fans would love to have him there, as any franchise would. I want to see what New York does consistently first. They're just not getting back to being good. It's kind of similar to what you're saying as far as OKC win with that group. think the Knicks have a group now, and I want to see what this core does for the next couple of years, if you will. They're just not getting together, right? We had the high expectations last year. Can they get over that hump? Injuries played them. Let's see, now they got a new coach. Let's see if they can kind of move forward with that group. Because to get Giannis there, you're probably going to have to move a lot of your pieces. Another team that I think would not be bad, you're probably going to have to give up some of those bigs, is the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think, it's about what he wants to do. He wants to contend for a title. We've seen this multiple times. These players pair up, they have their team. I think he can pair with Ant-Man, and that is your core. You can put those two together, and you can do some magic, man. I mean, like I said, this team obviously is the West, but you're going to have two key players that can make a big, big difference moving forward. And I'll throw a surprise team in there. Detroit Pistons. I know that the Pistons, we talked about it probably a couple times over this year. The Pistons look like a totally different team right now. Big, big surprise. They're playing great. Cade Cunningham is a superstar. You pair him and Giannis, I think you have a very nice, solid team for years to come as well. Now you're gonna have to get off some of your young pieces, but that's Giannis and Cade Cunningham. I think that'd be a hell of a pair. Obviously another team in the East, but now you have a person that you can pair with and work with through years. So I don't think that's bad. And obviously, I said to you off air, I sent you a text about it. I think OKC should really consider looking into this. You have, I think I had it pulled up just a minute ago, their draft picks. They have 3 draft picks in 2026.
Yes.
So they have 3 draft picks and 3 2026 first round draft picks. They got a protected 1 to 8, and they got a protected 1 to 4. They got their own draft pick. 2027, they got 3 more first round picks. They got a protected 1 to 16 and a protected 1 to 5. So to me, if Milwaukee knows this is going to be part of that rebuild, I think OKC may want to give them a call and see what they can give them with these draft picks. Because OKC they don't need any more young guys on this team. They got a few of them. What are they going to do with these draft picks, right? In my opinion, we know what the pair is. Again, SJ is a hell of a player. You pair him with somebody, and I think he fits in that system better than any other team just because of how SGA plays. Yes, he's an on-ball guard, but we see him take a lot of time off to get all these other guys acclimated. He lets the game come to him, and that's the kind of player that Giannis needs. So very similar to Ant-Man, very similar to Cade Cunningham. Get you that player that the game just slows down. It just comes to him. He's not trying to get 15 the first quarter. He might have 0 the first quarter, but mess around and have 20 the second quarter because the game slowly comes to him. So I think that'll be a team that I'll throw in there. OKC, in my opinion, should think about it. Obviously, you're getting off your team that won NBA Finals last year. Now, who do you give up? That's a very good. That's the question. But like I said, I think Miami Heat, they go to State, but I just kind of question what do they have to give, and who would Milwaukee accept. But Miami, Detroit is my big shocker. Minnesota, I think OKC should take a stab. Me being a Magic fan, I mean, what do you? I think I got him in the same range as Golden State. What are you giving up? I'm not giving up Banchero. Franz Wagner, not really. Just got Desmond Bain. and you got this young core. You want to see what you can do with it. So they're kind of mixed up. You got this young group. You traded. You got Desmond Bain and Tyus Jones. You got some guards you can give up, but I think you want to see what this group that you have, how far they can get, then you revisit. And I think with how Giannis is moving, I don't think he have another year for this guy. I think he's going to be traded within the next couple of days.
I'm going to go back to here. This part right here where Shams saying, or ESPN saying, Giannis open leaving Milwaukee. We talked about this last week, and it's been reported that he wanted to go to the Knicks, and some reason or other the trade didn't get done this past summer. Why it didn't get done, we can't say. But I think, it's kind of like wait and see with both teams. It's like, okay, we let Tom Thibodeau go. We brought in Mike Brown, and we'll see how things go with Mike Brown. Right now, I got the game in front of me, the Lakers and the Knicks right now. LeBron just threw down an alley-oop pass for a dunk at 41 years old. And the Knicks looking pretty good, looking stronger in the second half. Now, the reason I bring up the Knicks is like, yeah, offensively they look better, and if the efficiency is better, the defense is kind of taking a step back with Thibodeau gone. Like, you had to sacrifice one for the other. And it shows. And the efficiency inside has went down as well with Tips gone. So, and Cat has been having his struggles again. And this is a new coach too.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now, I'm looking right now. He's posting up DeAndre Ayton, should be backing him down. Nice pass and Bridges, by the way. But, with DeAndre Ayton, not being the best post defender, he should be punishing him down low. He should be commanding the ball, but it's not really like that because Mike Brown, as some of y'all know, was with Steve Kerr for those years and kind of really picked up offensively and stuff like that. This the pacing, all that stuff that Golden State uses. Now he's bringing it to New York. As we know, that big man is not really featured like that in the offense. Mm-hmm. Brunson, OG, Miles Bridges, those guys, Deuce McBride, those guys will get more touches and looks compared to Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, would Giannis fit with that offense? Probably so. Probably so. He's not the outside shooter that Towns is, but he can. I don't know. He can fit. He can run and all that stuff. Get up and down the court, all that good stuff. But will he be cool with that? Letting Brunson and all those guys get more to share the touches. I don't know. But New York is one of his preferred spots if he wants to get moved. So I got the Knicks at least at number 3. Number 1, if I'm the Bucks, if I'm moving to Giannis, if I had to move him, I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors.
Mm.
It's slim margin over them or Miami Heat. I'll say that first. The reason I say Golden State is only because if you're Golden State and you kind of shot yourself in the foot, thank you, Mike Dunleavy. You shot yourself in the foot how you handled the Jonathan Kuminga situation about a week or so ago. How you talked about and say, well, you gotta make yourself available, get the best value, all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. If you're trying to trade dude and dude won't be there, and you're trying to get the best value out of somebody, don't say stupid stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to state, you might Dunleavy or whoever, you got to sell that kid to whoever you trying to trade to. If you can convince Milwaukee just enough to say, hey, this kid is just, 22, 23, comes to his own. If you give him the ball and stuff like that, kind of making the focus, he could possibly be the next franchise for your team. Possibly. Throw in, I don't know, I think salary matches, they said Draymond to be throwing in all that good stuff. And then where picks you got to throw in. But if you can make that work, if you go in the state, you can make that work, make it work. And then that same type of offense, put Giannis at the 5, other guys around him. We'll see how it works. Steph Curry would probably be his best teammate that he ever played with, bar none. And open looks and stuff like that Steph can give him down low. If the knees hold up, all that stuff, easy work for Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
But I get to ask them because I think they got the young player and the salary to make it work. Miami's my close second because I think, Pat Riley is he's been itching to get a superstar.
Yeah.
He's been itching to get somebody in for the past few years, and he's been striking and missing. And I think in this one right here, and Pat's getting to the age, he's getting close to retirement. Like, if I can get this last one here, I can call quits. I'm not saying Pat Riley's trying to retire and all like that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just saying Pat's up there in age. It's going out there. If he can get this done, I don't know who you would give up if you're Miami. That's the thing. I'm looking at a roster top of my head. Wiggins had to be a factor. Norman Powell made the All-Star team. Shout out to Norman Powell. If I was them, I'll throw in Tyler Hero in there.
Ooh.
Because he ain't been staying healthy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Haven't been the same since the bubble.
Yeah, he ain't.
Consistently, anyway. Consistently.
So Tyler Hero, Andrew Wiggins, wherever draft picks you can scrounge up. I don't got the roster in front of me. Who else I can throw in there for Miami? Come on. Maybe the Jovic dude. Throw him in there as a nice young piece. And then you get Giannis, his brother, back in the trade. And maybe if you can swing, I looked at the numbers, but you swing it, maybe Bobby Portis. If you can swing that. If you can swing that, maybe you can make that work. If Miami asks for Bam Adebayo, I think they still get it done because you got clear where that you got down low that you could put there.
Yeah.
Now, for Milwaukee, you probably had to make a move to trade Miles Turner or something like that, or refocus Bam Adebayo somewhere else to get draft capital, all that stuff. But Miami's my close second, only because Pat Riley is itching to get somebody else in. Third for me, is the New York Knicks, like I alluded to. It's only because if he asks for it for the summer, then let's go ahead and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to be there and that's his top place, go ahead and get it done. If you Leon Rose, get it done. And a 4 squad for me, I don't think they'll do it, but the Brooklyn Nets.
Ooh.
Still New York. Granted, I know Giannis was one of the contending team, all that good stuff, but they got a lot of draft capital. Also about the Knicks too. They got draft capital as well. Well, no, yeah, I think so. Yeah, they got a little bit of draft capital as well, so they can make that work a little bit. But the Nets got a lot of draft capital as well. So, Michael Porter Jr., Cam Thomas. Who else you could throw in there? They don't got a lot of hot salary. Noah Clowney. Throw those guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis, his brother, and call a day right there. But those are teams I'm looking at, D-Lock. Just, Detroit, like you alluded to. I don't know. I don't think they break up that young core right there.
Nah, they probably won't.
But why not strike when the iron's hot?
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of Tobias Harris. Probably to sacrifice either Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. Throw in Jaden Ivey. And maybe another young guy. And hopefully that works. Giannis and his brother. The OKC thing, which you brought up, I thought about that earlier. It would be more enticing if the Clippers were not in playoff contention. The Clippers, they kind of found themselves here post Chris Paul. But I'll say this, if the Clippers were still like 13th in the West, like they were like a month ago or so.
Yeah.
OKC owns that pick. Let the season ride out. Watch the draft lottery. See what happens there. And like I said, you doing this in the off season. You're not doing it right now. OKC, you're not doing this right now. But the off season, depending on how things go in the playoffs. If Jokic, Eric Gordon, for example, are back healthy for the playoff stretch, if they give you fits, or someone like Minnesota give you fits, why not? Okay. Well, Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, nice guys, but we can keep this up.
Right.
So now, let's just play along this scenario. If the Clippers stuck and end up with the second pick overall, now, okay, you got a package of Holmgren, that second overall pick, who you can build off. We saw this past Saturday, Kansas BYU went at it. Peterson went off in the first half, didn't play much in the second half. Damn near Bill Self I know he's in the minute restriction. I don't know what Bill Self's thinking. Probably should throw him out there for 5 minutes and kind of scared. They won the game, but you get my point. The Mister, Boozer.
Good pieces, man.
That's like that second round pick. You got to pick the litter. Like if you're the Bucks, okay, yeah, I lost Giannis, but then I got somebody else there.
Right.
I was like, okay, losing Giannis hurts, but I got one of these young guys here that I can rebound from it don't sting too much. Now I got these kids, Chet Holmgren, here. Miles Turner, if you keep him around. If you're Milwaukee, just playing the scenario out, now you're looking pretty good right now. Now you're looking, okay, things ain't that bad. Got to figure out the point guard situation, but things ain't that bad. If I can get another first-round pick out of OKC with this hypothetical trade and find me a nice point guard, I'm looking good.
Yeah.
So Milwaukee got options. Is like they got to figure out what they can secure for the future. Let's be honest. Let's be real here. And depending on how the lottery goes and all that stuff, the Wizards, there's some time. There's some time away. The Nets on a rebuild mode. The Hornets started to come around.
Yeah. Health is with them. They be healthy.
If they say they coming around. Slowly but surely they coming around. The Raptors, I need to see another year of it.
Raptors, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta see another year. I was like, give me another year. Detroit, okay. Everybody say healthy, they're contenders. Boston, Jason Tatum back in the fold. We'll see how things go. And even they are looking for a big man. They're rumored to be.
Yeah.
If they can get Ivan Zubac,
they might have something to deal with.
Damn, that's a squad right there. If they're going to give up Simons, that's a squad right there. Knicks, if they stay intact, all that stuff, blah 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 blah. So, if you're Milwaukee, if you get the right guy to come in, right pieces come in, you'll be all right. We'll see. But I just thinking, I don't think he gets moved by the deadline. I think it's post
injury.
It's post draft lottery for me when he gets moved.
Oh, okay.
Once the draft lottery happens, once the draft order is set, I think we're looking at June. That he gets moved.
I think if that does happen, teams like OKC will have a chance. Miami does have a chance. I even go in there and say New York definitely has a chance. Hell, at that point, I say even Orlando Magic, because you look at the group that you have, and then now, like you said, post NBA Finals or post the season, you're trying to see, okay, well, this is the team that we had. Did it work? Or, like you asked me about Jamal Mosley. I've been hearing about Franz Wagner and Ben Carroll not working out as they thought. So those teams that have these expectations of being contending, now they start to get into the fold too. It's like, well, hell, he ain't been traded yet. Shoot, we got a couple pieces right now that we possibly might be getting rid of. We kind of getting moving off of. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think some other teams start to definitely get involved. Now another team, we probably gonna discuss a little bit about them, is Philly. They got all these pieces, right? They're looking very good until obviously their news of Paul George. Put these pieces around Joel Embiid. Now what happens, throughout this playoffs? Do you look at that possible move, or do you look and see what you can move to get Giannis? So I think the later that this plays out, the more teams look at, well, damn, okay, let's try to get in on this too. You know what I mean? Like that's something that we're gonna start to see, because again, like you said, Denver, we're expecting. Actually, I think Jokic's first game back, I think he had a hell of a game. I think they got a game tonight too. I think against OKC. So San Antonio, you know what I mean? Some of these teams, they're gonna come in and like as you said, Brooklyn, like they start to put these packages together, and they might be able to have that season starting off with a superstar like Giannis to build around. So, like you said, especially post draft when these players start getting drafted, they start seeing these pieces. Where does Boozer, land? Where does the I can't even say his name from BYU? Where does he land? These guys could possibly be on the move before they even put a jersey on the team that drafts them.
Yeah, and all these young guys, the kid from Illinois, I forgot his name. Name tipped my tongue, but he had a hell of a game tonight against Nebraska. The guard, let me pull it up. I just had it right here. Keaton Ragler. That's another freshman right there. I sent you one yesterday, kid from Murray State, overseas, about 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", get him on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If he enters the draft, somebody kind of look at him and say, ooh, he look like he kind of plays like Luka Doncic. It only takes one team to fall in love with you in the first round in any professional sports league. I don't give a damn what it is. MLB, MLS, NFL, NBA, NHL. It just takes one damn team to fall in love with you in the first round to take you. You seen it with your teams. I've seen it with my teams. For good or worse, for good or bad.
I even throw in another team. You tell me your thoughts if this happens. The later that you say post draft, right?
Yeah. Well, post lottery, where everything dust is settled.
With the dust settling, like you said, post lottery, do you think the Lakers try to make a move for him? I say that because we talk about teams that what I said it earlier. There's a handful of teams that want to contend. They want to continue contending. So the Lakers are wanting to continue this dynasty. They want to they want to continue. They want to be contending every year for NBA Finals. They see what the teams on the West. They're seeing what the Nuggets are doing. They're seeing what OKC is doing. They're seeing what Golden State is trying to do. So, do they say, damn, well, hey, this kid is still out here. We got one superstar. Shoot, Austin Reeves is good, but Rich Paul's comment as far as him getting moved, again, we think he shouldn't have said. But at the same time, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo who's gonna leave Milwaukee. So, do you try to find a package to kind of say, well, damn, okay, let's try to get Luka and Giannis on the same team? It's and that's what I mean by, like you said, post lottery. Like these teams, the season is gonna be gone now. We're gonna see where they land, what the expectations is. Now we know the results of having Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron. We see however that works. We'll know. Like you said, the same thing with, or I said about Orlando Magic. All these teams, the New York Knicks, how does that work? Philly, how does that situation work? These teams that want to contend for a title, if it is post lottery, which is a very possibility because today's the first. You got 3 days. I'm sorry, 4. So, are you working a deal now? Or do you rush a deal in the next 3 or 4 days, which means you probably don't get what you want? Or do you, like you said, you wait a little bit later and see what happens? So it's gonna be interesting, man. That's why I said, do the Lakers say, well, hell, let's chime in and see what we can do? Because what we always see, we always have our expectations of what teams want to trade, want to get a player. And then when Sham, or hell, even Adam Schefter in NFL post up, talk about it, they get traded to a team we're not even expecting. Yeah. It happens a lot. So now in my mind, I'm like, well, damn, okay. Yeah, like you said, the Heat, the Knicks, these teams that are at the top of the list. Damn, what team comes out and say, well, you know what? We're going to throw you a package right now that you refuse. And we're going to do more because we want them and what we're trying to build. And like I said, the Lakers are known for deals like this.
So we'll put a bone on this. You know, if any breaking news happens, do follow us at our handles right here. You know, our show's page, Fast Break ISR, our handles right there. IE Sports Radio, the official page. Once happened, we'll probably drop a short video, one of us for a short, and push that out there to the algorithm, all that. You know, if he doesn't get moved, you know, we probably, we ain't gonna do a show on Super Bowl. That if he does get moved, we're trying to maybe cook up something. And my birthday's on Saturday, so now we'll see. We'll see when all that shit happens. But anyways, let's take a quick break real quick. On the other side of things, we'll talk about the Cavaliers and their trade with the Sacramento Kings. Then talk about all-star reserves real quick, and then talk about Florida beating down Alabama this afternoon. But this is Fast Break here for IE Sports Radio. You're ready for all sports. We'll catch you on the other side.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. If you're new to the show, do follow us at IE Sports Radio on all your social media feeds: X, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Do give us a follow on all the social media feeds right there. Give us a follow on there. If you like the show, give us a like on anything we post. Not just basketball. We do volleyball. We do American football and international football and soccer for the States, if some of y'all want to be technical. Also, baseball right now is kind of on hibernation, but that's going to be kicking up later on this month with spring training guys reporting in later on the month. Hockey, full swing. Those guys do great work as well. Our auto show getting back up and swinging things. Well, I think they already did, but I think they kind of getting full steam right now. So do check out IE Sports Radio on all your social medias, and also iesportsradio.com. The website is up and running, so do check us out there as well. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. The road to 500 is upon us. We're working on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Every time we go live every Sunday after 7, you can hit the little bell notification. Once we go live, you'll see us pop up. Lock in, ready to roll. Give your comments. We'll talk about on the air and fellowship along the way. So this trade happened, and I think the deal, D-Lock, that was on the horizon because DeAndre Hunter's been like in trade talks for a little bit. But Cleveland, they sent DeAndre Hunter to Sacramento for there's a 3-team deal between the Cavs, Bulls, and Kings. Hunter goes to Sacramento. Schroeder and Keon Ellis to the Mavs. And I think the Bulls got draft compensation. No, they got Dario Saric in the trade, and that had to wait Javon Carter, but they got draft capital as well. D-Lock, real quick, your thoughts on this deal for the Cleveland side of things and the Sacramento side of things?
I guess I'll touch on Sacramento side right now. I think Sacramento is probably going to be one of them teams that are going to be trying to get a high draft pick. My thing is, I think they're going to ship away a lot of their players. I think DeMar DeRozan might be on the move. Zach LaVine. They're going to move, a bunch of these guys. See what they do with Sabonis. So I guess I think this team would be in that rebuild mode. Moving a few pieces. Okay, bet they went and got DeAndre Hunter. I can see him getting a hell of a lot more playing time post draft, the draft deadline, a trade deadline. I'm sorry, because I think Zach LaVine is probably going to be shipped out too. I think he's probably going to be gone, and so is DeMar DeRozan. It's just who goes get those guys, and I think those guys go to contenders. So I just think Sacramento side, I think they're rebuilding a little bit. And I start on the Sacramento side because it's not too much to say on that. I want to stick more on the Cleveland side.
Okay.
Like I said before, I told you that I think this team can be they can be really good. Going to that game, Evan Mobley is literally one of the leaders on this team. Donovan Mitchell also. I think this team is one of the better teams in the West. They can be, because I think they could be one of the top 2, top 3 teams in I'm sorry, not the West, the East. But they have to stay healthy. Darius Garland is not healthy.
Yeah.
And we know that. But I think this trade leads that his injury may be worse than we believe. I think it's a toe strain. I think he was injured on his toe before, if I'm not mistaken. But going to go get Keon Ellis and Dennis Schröder, you're loading up in the guard position. Why? I mean, that tells me that you're going to have Craig Porter. It looks like Darius Garland is going to be out for some time. So they're getting more guys up in there. Tyson has been playing pretty well for them, and don't even get me started on that dude. Hey, listen, I understand what you're trying to do with Donovan Mitchell, but bro, you know who City is Cleveland. We know that, right? But anyway, I think going to get 2 guards. Let it be known that Darius Garland is not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Dennis Schröder just came off a hell of a game, past couple of games with Sacramento, being the fact that Russ has been out for some time. So, to me, I'm thinking Cleveland is getting more depth. Also, what does this mean for Darius Garland in the future in Cleveland? That's another thing that it raises eyebrows to try to get you to also understand too. So, I just see this getting more depth for this team. But damn, Dennis Schröder, he moving around a lot, ain't he?
I mean, he played for what? Like, he played for the Lakers twice, the Nets, the Raptors, Kings.
He's been around.
OKC. I feel like I'm missing a couple teams.
I just seen a picture with him literally having like every one of his jerseys on. So he's been around. He's been around the NBA. So again, I think that they're making moves to get depth in that guard area. Here it is right here, I think. So he played for Atlanta Hawks, Lakers, Boston, Houston Rockets, Kings, Warriors, OKC. So he's been Raptors. He's been a few spots. So again, in my opinion, getting more depth is what they need. They got to be healthy, and that's what they're trying to be in that healthy range, instead of leaning so much on, Garland, who clearly can't stay healthy right now.
Real quick for me, and the Knicks are starting to beat up on the Lakers now and just get up down the court and fast break on them. And the Lakers' fast break defense is just terrible. And the reason I bring this trade up, DeAndre Hunter is like somebody they were like looking to get, but I don't know who they had to give up to make it work. Like Gabe Vincent or Rui Hachimura or something like that, and Don't Connect go in there. But that seemed like a lot for DeAndre Hunter. That I'll be honest with you, you talking about injuries. Darius Garland, that dude's been hurt for a good part of his career as well.
Mm-hmm.
And him going to Sacramento, in which him going there, now you got like a glut of forwards and at that position. So we'll see how that works out there for him. But you already got the Murray kid there, the Rosen, Levine. So you got those guys on the wings. And then let me pull up that Sacramento roster real quick. You got Neat Clifford as well, the kid from Colorado State. So there's a lot of guys, on the wing for Sacramento that you got to figure something out on. And then also in Sacramento, I think if the right move is there for Sabonis, I think Sacramento gets the deal done.
Mm-hmm.
Depends how the draft lottery goes, all that stuff. But if they can find the right deal for Sabonis, they can ship him out. I mean, he's a good, solid double guy, but he's not taking you to the championship.
Nah.
So I think Sacramento's not done making moves. I think like a little minor move happens, maybe with Malik Monk, but I don't think they'll get anybody bite on Levine and DeRozan unless somebody comes in with 13-14 trade to make things work. But I think nothing else happens in Sacramento. Cleveland, like you brought up, the guys they have right now, they're playing tonight against the Portland Trailblazers in Portland. I don't think Schröder will be playing that game, or Ellis. So, a lot of dependability on Donovan Mitchell, and he's been playing great ball here lately. Pull it up here. Going back to the last game of Friday when they lost to the Phoenix Suns, Mitchell, Tyson, Merrill, they got some decent minutes. Lonzo Ball, who's also been in trade rumors as well, he got some decent time. So just kind of look at the roster right now. Ellis, a good guy on a cheap contract. Schröder, cheap contract as well. So you're kind of like you alluded to, the depth of this team kind of got a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And Darius Garland, he's 6'1", but now you got another guy that can play the point guard position. And Keon Ellis that can, if he's not there and got Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, can guard that best perimeter guy's player. And Keon Ellis is like at least 6'3", 6'4". So Donovan Mitchell's like 6'2". That would help him a lot, and Ellis can guard that other guy's down in the backcourt. So he come talking about playoff time, going against the Knicks. Hey, he's guarding Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
If Garland's healthy, all that stuff. If he's not healthy, excuse me. He's playing Boston Celtics, guarding Derek White, Anthony Simons, or maybe it could match up against Jaylen Brown. Detroit, guarding against Kate Cunningham. So a lot of things that Keon Ellis could do defensively for them, and Schröder as well. I think for Schröder, you got to tell him, like, just do the tangible things. If you're open, take the shot, but don't try and be more than what you are.
Right.
Don't be more than what you are. So I think, another reason Cleveland got this done, I guess they get out of the tax. The second, I think the first or second apron as well. They created like $50 million from there. So that's another reason why they did this. So I don't, are they looking to do something else? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is maybe Garland on the move? I don't know. Jared Allen? I don't know. But, I think that's the main thing with this move. Is like, they relieved themselves of the tax situation. So for Cleveland, real quick, 2 guards on a cheap deal, not breaking the bank. For Sacramento, I mean, I really can't say too much on it. I really don't know. I'll let you have the last word on this.
I mean, I think these moves you're leaning. Cavs making these moves, you're leaning on Donovan Mitchell being that guy right now. It's like I said, knowing that Darius Garland is probably not going to be available anytime soon. But also, what does it do moving forward with Schröder and Keon Ellis? Like I said, you're looking at. You do got Lonzo Ball still there, Craig Porter. Obviously Jalen Tyson, who's had some pretty decent games. But now, like I said, you're leaning on Mobley being that guy with Donovan Mitchell. This team is, again, we always talk about how this team they didn't hit the expectation last year. Last year was a failure. I mean, we thought they were going to go farther than what they actually did. So can they get back in that room of being competitive and be consistent in the East? Right now, you're finding Boston, who is playing pretty good, but they don't have their number one guy, Jason Tatum, this year. So this is the year that Cleveland kind of can make that. I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's probably a better chance than before Boston gets fully healthy. So yes, you're looking at New York being pretty solid in Orlando, but I think Cleveland is also one of the better teams in the East, and health is everything. So now you add more pieces like a Dennis Schröder, or in that depth range. They got it. These guys that you got, they got to help you be consistent in the playoffs. So for me, I think they know, like I said, knowing the injury history with Darius Garland, now they want to be able to play consistently without a miss of a beat if Darius Garland is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So when he does get hurt, now you still got other guys that can come in and play that role. To be honest, we talk about Dennis Schröder missing that big payday. I think Dennis Schröder is a pretty consistent guard. I would say that's probably better than a better play than Craig Porter. You know what I mean? I'll lean a lot on Craig Porter. So to me, I think it's a very smart move to go grab a couple pieces. But now, again, like we talk about with the Giannis thing, these teams are going to have, at the end of the season, they're going to see what they have done. Did they hit their expectation? And do they need to make some trades, or do they need to make some moves? They made moves now to be a contender right now. That's the point of this move. DeAndre Hunter is a solid piece for them, but now Jalen Tyson is playing extremely well. They feel like he can step into that role. So now you say, okay, cool. Now you're getting some more depth in that guard position. This team is pretty well rounded. It's just now you have to get it done. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it shakes out for them. Like I said, on the Sacramento side, they need, like you said, they need to go ahead and find these trade packages for these players. Okay, cool. You got DeAndre Hunter. Russ is probably maybe possibly a trade out opportunity. But Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, I think those 3 guys are gone. I think those 3 guys are being moved. So now you have to go ahead and move those guys. Find the best package deal. start over, move forward. So it just, and for me, I think those are some hell of a players. But this is the same. This is basically that Bulls team we seen. Literally the same exact team. Not really seeing too much of Levine and DeRozan working together, in my opinion. It's just not working. So change of scenery or not, they're them two together just not working out. So yeah, I think it's better to move them, get something for them, and move forward. So again, and then also, like I said, maybe some of these teams are making moves just because the trade deadline is going to come up. Again, we'll see in the next couple of days, Shams, and we'll see moves is being made just for the hell of it. But I think this trade right here was probably a hell of a lot more beneficial to Cleveland.
Yeah, just put a ball on it. Like that Kings team is like similar to the Bulls team that Levine and DeRozan have been a part of. Now, the center is Sabonis compared to Vooch. Yeah, not a young forward, Patrick Williams, and then King and Murray. And then you guys got a bunch of guards that, do good things every once in a blue moon. Same thing. And then the only thing is, your coach might be worse than the one in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But, we'll see how things go there. All-Star reserves were announced, D-Locke. We'll just go through them real quick. Eastern Conference reserves. Donovan Mitchell from the Cleveland Cavaliers, 7th selection. Jalen Johnson, well-deserved 1st selection. Karl-Anthony Towns, Knicks, 6th selection. Pascal Siakam, his 4th selection. And then to round out the East, Norman Powell, his 1st selection. Should have been All-Star this last year. I still stand by that.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, his 10th selection, who probably won't play in the game. So, and then Jaylen Brown for the Celtics, his 5th selection. Real quick, D-Locke, your thoughts on the Eastern Conference reserves, and then who replaces Giannis as an All-Star reserve?
I'm not really mad at that. The East, I think it was not a bad put together, to be honest with you. Now for Giannis, would it be favoritism if I said Banchero should be on his he should replace Giannis, because I just feel like he's been playing extremely well, especially without Franz Wagner. In my opinion, I think he's been playing, pretty good. Actually, they're getting ass right now, but I think that he should definitely be, part of that team, in my opinion. So, Jalen Johnson, listen, he's been playing out of his mind. I think that's one of the reasons why they traded Trae Young. He's just playing extremely well. Siakam, if this team had Tyrese Halliburton, I think this team would still be one of the best teams in the East, the way Siakam is playing, in my opinion. I think he's playing very, very, very good right now. Averaging 23, 4, and 7. Obviously he's the main guy on that team. For those that do any kind of I haven't been on this, so FanDuel or DraftKings, you probably want to get Siakam every time he plays because he's the main guy on that team. Donovan Mitchell, clearly. I agree with you with Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell should have already been a super all-star. He gets the minutes, he's going to play out. He's going to go crazy. And like I said, that's a selling point for Giannis to go to Miami, is you use Norman Powell as a person that you can possibly have him paired with. So another person that's been playing pretty good is Scotty Barnes also. So, but for me, I like this team. I think that they put it well together. I just think that the way Siakam is playing, I think he definitely deserves it. And Tyrese Maxey having a hell of a season also. I just want to definitely point that out.
Real quick for me, for the East, no problem, Donovan Mitchell. Jalen Johnson, no problem. I've been confident since November. Carl Towns, no surprise there. Siakam, I give him, it's tough because if I take him out, who would I put in? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do I put somebody like Miles Bridges, OG Anunoby on there? Do I put like Brandon Ingram from the Raptors on there? You know, Paolo, Beccaro. That's another option right there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like LeBron's night is done, and the Knicks are about to win this game on NBC Sunday night. So I don't know. Siakam is kind of tough, and I know he's been playing well, but it's kind of tough. That Pacers are one of the worst teams in the East. So shout out to Siakam, but it's like, I feel like a couple of guys could have got the nod there. And then to place Giannis, you know, like the other guys I just mentioned, Brandon Ingram, Paolo Beccaro, an outside guy to me, I don't think he'll get it because he's kind of cooled down here. But VJ Edgecombe, the rookie out of Philadelphia, somebody to consider right there. I don't think he'll get it, but just keep a name out there for him. But I think Paolo may get the nod right there on that front. And let me pull up the Western ones real quick. And it seems like the Knicks going to win this game. And then let me go to the West side real quick. For the West, D-Lock, you got LeBron James, 22nd All-Star selection for him. Kevin Durant for the Rockets. Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker. I know that says the Phoenix Suns, but the damn AI. So I think Kevin Durant plays for the damn Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing about AI. It's like not totally perfect. Then for the rest, Jamal Murray is first and Chet Holmgren is first. D-Lock, your thoughts on the Western Conference real quick.
I ain't gonna lie. I think obviously we know how LeBron got in, which is cool. I mean, I think this is one of the years that he's had that we haven't seen LeBron come off the bench in ever on All-Star. So
No.
Yeah, this is the first time we're gonna see that. But to be honest, like I said, I think I've always thought the West is super loaded. I mean, look at these guys that they have. It's gonna make it very, very tough to put your starting group together with. I mean, you got Steph, Luka, SGA, Jokic, and Victor, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Ant-Man, LeBron, Jamal Murray. I mean, somebody gotta, come off the bench. You know what I mean? So, all in all, I think this is the right list. Kevin Durant's been playing pretty well as well, also with Houston. My thing is with Devin Booker, I think he definitely deserves it too, because we were not expecting the Suns to look like this. I didn't think they were going to look like this. So definitely credit to him. Ant-Man is up and coming. Like I said, his time, he's on the rise. So I definitely like this list as well.
I think real quick for me, LeBron getting in, no surprise there. I think they will make that happen. Kevin Durant been playing very well and playing very well defensively, mind you. Anthony Edwards, no surprise there. Devin Booker, no surprise there. Leading the Suns back into after a slow start to playoff contention. Jamal Murray, who kind of will pick up the slack after Jokic went out, Eric Gordon been out, and Chet Holmgren playing consistent ball and really kind of pick up that slack since Jalen Williams has been in and out the lineup this year. So really, he's really come to his own, and he got his first All-Star nod to go along with his teammate SGA. But I got no beats with the Western Conference the lineups here. So, only other person I could maybe throw out there. I feel like I missed somebody.
Denny.
Let's see. Hold on.
Denny's been playing extremely well too.
Yeah. What's that kid's name? Yeah, Denny Avdija. Yes. Yeah, he made the. Excuse me. Yeah, damn AI. Yeah, Denny Avdija. Yeah, he made the All-Star. So he played great. He's played great. For the Blazers. So, shout out to him. When we talk about Portland began the season with Chauncey Billups and the mob connections, all that stuff. But, they kind of been playing consistent ball, the Blazers have. And real curious, how the second half of the season shakes out for them for the rest of the year. But real quick, D-Lock, before we get out here, our SEC spotlight, Florida rose Alabama 100-77. The Gators put 72 points inside. 72 points. Damn near outscoring Alabama down regardless. Alex Cotton and Thomas Hall combined for 50 points. And Ruben Chinliu on the glass with 17 boards. D-Lock, Florida as I don't say dominant word last year, but can they use this game after Todd Golden talked all that shit about Alabama and Bediako? Can you use this game to kind of build a streak for the coming month into March?
I think he is. I mean, I think for one, being a big boy and backing up your talk is huge. But I mean, let's look at this SEC rundown so far. Beat Georgia, number 18 Georgia 92-77. Beat Tennessee, number 21 Tennessee 91-67. Beat Vandy, number 10 98-94. Come back and get a win against Alabama by 23 points. So I think, in my opinion, they're putting together a very good streak going. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago about conference play. That's everything, right? This is where you hey, this is my resume. This is what I've done, right? So in my opinion, I think they're putting together a good streak. This is what you need going into March. You need to get these wins. You had a couple losses early. I think that the one that probably hurt the most, that had me, I guess, concerned early, was that Duke lost, because I know what Duke is going to be. I was expecting a little bit more, but again, they're starting to put it together. Let me see. And they're starting to put it together, especially going to a good team against Alabama, who we know is going to be in the tournament as well. So they continue to putting this together. I think this team is going to be somebody to continue to watch for, especially and could they repeat? That's what they're trying to do. But it's going to be, like I said, it's definitely going to be tough. And I get it. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing about this team that also helps me believe this team is going to be ready is because they got a target on their back. Yeah. So you got teams that are really coming for you, and you're still stacking some good wins. Just that, them two losses between Duke and UConn, two top 5 teams. that was a little like, damn, okay, what can we do? But to move through the SEC like they're moving, I think he's getting those guys starting to get locked in. So continue to stack it up because March coming around, as we know, the tournament is going to be very, very special coming up.
For me, for those that don't know, Charles Bediako, who used to be at Alabama some years ago, came out of Alabama early for reasons I don't know why. And my dad at the time texted me and said why he's coming out. I said I couldn't tell you. But he left, did get drafted, been totally around the G League for the past 3 years, with the Spurs, G League affiliate, and now the Detroit Pistons G League affiliate. And now, since the NCAA has kind of been letting these G League guys, guys who also been drafted, kind of let them come back into college basketball, or letting them be recruiting back into college basketball. Kind of open the gates. And I thought in this matchup here, I thought he would help down low. But credit to Florida, they got him fouled out the game. They kept him in foul trouble. Granted, he had like 4 or 5 blocks in the game, but I mean, it didn't really factor much when you got 70 points inside, and you take him out the game. Now you kind of force Alabama to use those other guys that really ain't strong defensively down low, and Alabama as a whole, as a team, ain't strong defensively down low. So you take a punch him down low easily. You got him beat. A. Sherrill, you can beat him down low. Nolan Wilson, you beat him down low. So Florida did that thing. I can't blame it. When they turned the tide, no pun intended, Florida did at the end of that first half, when it kind of went up double digits. I said, Now I tweeted for our show's accounts, like, Florida got to keep the double-digit lead. If they can keep that double-digit lead, kind of expand on that lead and stuff like that, they'll win the game.
Mm-hmm.
If they kind of keep it, if they let Alabama stay within 10 or so like that, then, you give Alabama a chance to come back in the game. But if you kind of continue to punch down low and all that stuff, like you're doing, and then look at the final score, you won by 20 plus. So big win for Florida. Next game is Saturday against at Texas A&M. And Texas A&M is the top of the SEC.
Yes.
And they playing Bucky ball. Bucky McMillan. If y'all not familiar with Bucky McMillan, was the head coach at Sanford for years, was previously the head coach here in the state of Alabama at Mountain Brook, a suburb of Birmingham, where he won multiple state titles. Coach NBA player Trenton Walford, who plays for the 76ers, I believe. So his style play, up and down, fast, all that stuff. Succeeded well in Mountain Brook, succeeded in Sanford. Now his first year at Texas A&M got them top of the SEC standings right now. So if you're Todd Golden, you got a whole week to prep for this game. And if you got a whole week like this in Texas A&M, let me pull up their schedule real quick. So they both got the same time off before that game. So you both squads, you gotta use your time wisely to craft a great game plan to win that game. But let's keep it Florida right here. Continue what you did against Alabama, because they kind of played the same way. Alabama and Texas A&M in a similar way. If you can punch down low, get those guys in foul trouble so that they ain't game down, use that half-court defense and trap and stuff like that, I think you could win that game in Florida. But you get flustered and all that stuff, and next thing you know, A&M is up and down the floor. You have no chance. Excuse me, A&M got to play Alabama on the 4th. So excuse me. They got Alabama before Florida. So I apologize for that. But point still stands. Right there. Last 2 games for Texas A&M, against Mississippi State, 88 points. Against South Carolina, 92 points. Against Georgia, 92 points. So you talking about the 90-point range. If you're Florida, if you keep it down below 80 points like you did Alabama, I think you got a good chance to win that game.
Mm-hmm. It's about being consistent. I mean, like I said, I think if you can keep backing these games up, I mean, you're in the middle of that SEC conference play, and like you said, you got some tough battles coming up soon. So continue to play consistent is going to be the main key for this team. And as I always say, like I said, I've always repeatedly said about the SEC, and I experienced it myself as an athlete. I think every sport, mostly almost damn near every sport in the SEC is top dog. It's very tough. From football to track to basketball to soccer to baseball. You know what I mean? Hell, hockey, gymnastics. A lot of this stuff, they have very tough sports, and that conference play is tough. So you can play good in the SEC, you're going to be pretty good nationally. You know what I mean? So if they can keep stacking up these kind of wins, I think it'll play a huge part in what happens for them moving forward.
So Florida, like I said, they got a little rest before the Texas A&M game. Texas A&M got Alabama this week, so we'll see how that matchup looks up. All that. Before we get out of here, D-Lock, the Nuggets are playing the Thunder on a double header here on NBC. Who do you like in that matchup?
I think with Jokic coming back, I think the Nuggets are starting to put together, good wins. But I think he still needs to get in the rhythm. I think OKC definitely take this victory. I think they're starting to get a few losses that hurt them. They got to get teams rolling. So I'm gonna take OKC in this one. And like I said, the Joker has to still get in his rhythm. I think OKC.
You know what? I will go Denver in this one. I think Jamal Murray going to come out and have a strong game. Jokic, I think we all know he has a strong game. I think the other role players, if they step up and play strong, Eric Gordon's out again for the hamstring, and we'll see when he comes back. But I think we're going to see a strong game for Jamal Murray to kind of help lead the way for Denver. But for OKC to win the game, Chet Holmgren got to hold his own down low and not get in foul trouble. I don't know if it's Isaiah Hartenstein's playing. They haven't done the lineups yet, so we'll see him in a minute. But, it's going to be a very good game, for this NBC audience and whatnot. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Next Sunday, we'll see how the trade deadline goes. If nothing really pop off, then we ain't going to show up for the Super Bowl because everybody be tuning in for that. To watch the Patriots and the Seahawks. Before we go out, D-Lock, who you got in the Super Bowl?
Boy, you know what? You may not want to hear this, but I think Mike Vrabel gets the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think that coach is the coach. He's been there. He knows what the expectations. He knows what they expect from the Patriots defense. I got the picture of the Seahawks. 20-10.
Okay. I'm going. This is tough because both of these teams are kind of similar in a sense, if you really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seattle, may have the better receivers. I'm going Seattle, but I got them winning by 3, by 24-21. and Jackson Smith and Jigma will have a strong game. So part of me, I don't want to see the Patriots win only because I don't want to hear these Vrabel lovers continue to harp on that the Titans, they should never fire Vrabel. This is what happens. You fire Vrabel, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of hearing about that. What's done is done. He could have stayed. He didn't want to stay. It is what it is. We just got to move forward. We got Robert Saleh in the fold. We just got to move forward now.
Yep.
We tried with the offensive guru and Callahan. Got to move forward. But I got Seattle win by 3, 24-21. Jackson Smith and Jacob will have a big day and will probably be my Super Bowl MVP. And I think Cooper Kupp will have a big catch that will swing in Seattle's favor in the fourth quarter. Don't know how, but I just think that will happen, in my opinion. So that's my opinion. But D-Lock, how do people find you social media?
Y'all call me a Black Dash 813. I definitely will be retweeting anything that Shannon was talking about with the trade. See what happened with Giannis. I know to find you in the show's page.
You can find me at Spawn4288 on Twitter/X, Spawn4288 on Twitter/X. Been retweeting some basketball stuff on there and then some Epstein stuff. That's been fun. Also, check out our social page at Fast Break IESR. That's Fast Break at IESR. Do give us a follow there. Also, do follow iSource Radio on all your social media feeds: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Once we go live every Sunday, hit that bell notification. You get alerted live when we go. We set up shop. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, when we on next week, do follow our show's page for all the latest NBA trade deadline news and trades that don't happen as well. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.